Hey there, we're Talia and Ophira Edut, identical twins and astrologers. Welcome to AstroTwins Radio, where we bring the stars down to Earth. It's that time of year again, everyone. Eclipse season, fall eclipse season 2024 begins this Tuesday, September 17th, and goes till October 2nd. So we are entering a esoteric portal where life may be stranger than the upside down world. Tali here from the AstroTwins with your weekly forecast for the week of September 16th to 22nd. Yes, the action does begin on Tuesday, but you're probably already feeling it. We've got our Pisces full supermoon, and I really think the Pisces full moon is a little bit of a mind fuck to begin with. Excuse my French, but it is. I don't even know how to mince words on it. Pisces energy and full moon, which is already, Luna, the base of lunacy, can make us all have a very, very slippery grasp on reality. And then add a partial lunar eclipse to the equation, and you have this shadow work coming in as well. So don't even try to keep a grip on the 3D world beyond a certain point. Now, this eclipse doesn't happen till later at night. 10:34 p.m. Eastern, to be specific. So if you happen to be on the East Coast, it's probably going to be dark enough for you to see it. And even on the West Coast, because the eclipse lasts for a while, it's not a total eclipse, but you'll see a bit of the Earth's shadow painting the moon a reddish, eerie reddish tint. So eclipses are these mysterious omens. And I don't want to get too into the ominous part of it all, because what they really do is force us to do that shadow work, to look at things that we didn't want to see. Little fun facts about eclipses: they come in pairs. So there's always either a full moon lunar eclipse followed by a new moon solar eclipse 2 weeks later, or opposite. It starts with a new moon, which is a solar eclipse always, and ends 2 weeks later with a full moon lunar eclipse. This time we start with the full moon in Pisces. And this one is noteworthy because it actually begins a brand new 2.5-year eclipse series that is striking the Pisces-Virgo axis. Eclipses also happen to come in pairs, and in the series, they'll hit two opposite signs. We've been having Aries-Libra eclipses going on since April of 2023. And that series actually ends next April in 2025. We have our Libra solar eclipse on October 2nd. So we're basically getting a new eclipse series weaving its way in with this Pisces eclipse. So this is a new theme. The balancing of Pisces energy, which is fluid and boundless and imaginative, with the perfunctory meticulousness of Virgo, which is more fact-based and analytical. Now, Pisces and Virgo are both associated with healing. Pisces more in the subconscious sense, where you want to work on ancestral trauma or buried pain. You want to work with a hypnotherapist or meditate or really get into those recesses of your mind that, maybe require you to get into a different state, get into delta, maybe a deep trance-like state, or even a mild one, but suspending a little bit of reality. Whereas Virgo tends to be more on the wellness side of things, where it's like, here are my routines. I'm going to do resistance training. I'm going to take these supplements at these times. I'm going to go get my checkups. We don't have a Virgo eclipse until spring 2025, so we're not there yet, but just know that the first eclipse in a series kind of blows open the whole thing, the whole deal. And eclipses also dovetail and correspond with the lunar nodes. So the lunar nodes are also moving into Pisces and Virgo at the beginning of next year. We will have the North Node, which is a point in the sky that's associated with the eclipses. So the North Node in Pisces for the first time since 2006, 2008. That starts January 11th, 2025, so a little sneak preview. And then the South Node, which focuses on where we need to do a little karmic release as a collective, will be in Virgo. And that's happening from, like I said, January 11th, 2025 to July 26th, 2026. Before then, we're still rounding out the nodes in Aries and Libra, where we've been balancing justice, harmony, peace. That's Libra, with the warring aggression and authoritarianism that can sometimes come with Aries. Individuality versus relationships. It's been hard for a lot of people. There have been big breakups, a lot of tension in relationships. People have been pushed with that Libra South Node to go deep and explore why we are so attached to having these things called relationships anyways. Obviously, there are many reasons, but if we're using them to avoid dealing with ourselves in any ways, the Aries North Node has been saying, there are no shortcuts, people. Come on back. You've got to do your work. You've got to clean up your side of the street. You've got to work on the curb appeal of your side of the street. I kind of prefer that to the punitive cleanup energy, but I guess I better get over that before the South Node goes into Virgo next year, because we're all going to have some cleaning up to do. Cleaning up of the earth, cleaning up of the oceans. And I wonder in some ways if this Pisces eclipse will bring any kind of a water-related event over the next month. You know, we've had hurricanes, but it's no secret that we haven't been doing a fast enough job to keep sea levels from rising and ice caps from melting. Who knows, though? Eclipses can reveal all kinds of things. Maybe there will be some desalinization or some amazing technology that helps to repair and restore the coral reef. We are at a place with science that the human race has never been before, and technology in the age of Aquarius that we're in can do all kinds of things that our minds can't even comprehend. Hello, Chat GPT. It's getting scarily good these days. I like to play with it here and there and see what it can do. And it's actually really good for helping with outlines and things. I'm actually pro GPT as long as you're using your own original source material. Now, the Pisces eclipse, Pisces on a personal level, is about surrender, release, fantasy. So if you've had your boundaries up a little too firm, you may decide to soften them a little bit. The problem is you could go too far in the opposite direction. If you are a creative, Tuesday or any time this week could bring some really divine downloads. So try to carve out time to step back, get into a meditative state, get into Kairos time with your art supplies, and turn off all your devices and see what flows through you. Sometimes, an artistic block can just mean the muse is trying to direct us somewhere else. So suspend your plans and your ideas about what you think the final outcome of the piece should be, whatever that is, and see what emerges. It could be pretty damn fascinating. We've got our last week of the sun in Virgo. The sun hits Libra on Sunday with the equinox. But before that, El Sol, Le Soleil, is going to be communicating with a couple other planets, 3 of them. It's going to be trine Uranus on Thursday, opposite Neptune on Friday, and then trine Pluto, which is in Capricorn now, on Sunday. So this could be interesting. The sun in Virgo can be very much about facts and figures, but with innovative Uranus and Taurus coming in, there might be some really interesting findings or even an opportunity to bring some intrigue into the work that you're doing this fall. And with Neptune opposite the sun on Friday, there's a way that you might feel a little bit derailed, though. It's going to be hard to stay on track, to stay on course. So if you can kind of check out early from work on Friday, you should. Give yourself a break. That is the day where if you need to kick back and just take a rest, you should, even if that means catching up a little bit with work on the weekend, because honestly, with the sun trine Pluto on Sunday, and you'll feel that Saturday too, you'll have sharper investigative powers, and you might actually be in the mood to do some work this weekend as opposed to on Friday and even Thursday when Uranus is playful and rebellious and free-spirited. So honestly, Thursday and Friday might feel a little more like weekend vibes if you're somebody who has any kind of say over your schedule like that. Consider taking an early weekend or maybe loosening up your schedule those days so that you can get out and discover. I find for myself when I'm pushing and forcing myself to, just write one more horoscope or design one more slide, and then I just stop and do the thing that I think that I can't do because, and then I'll lose track of everything and it'll all fall apart. But if I go take a break, go for a walk, go work out or meet a friend, oftentimes that relaxed state allows the idea to just pop right in, and I save myself hours of time just staring at the screen and erasing things. But God, I can be like that lab rat pushing the lever for the pellet even though it's not coming out. Well, on to the weekend. We have the Sun and Venus changing signs. Venus has been in Libra for the last few weeks, and it's been lovely in some regards. Definitely helped Kamala out with her composure and calm during the debates. She's a Libra, and having her ruling planet in her sign, I think helped her to not get triggered when so many insane things were said. No matter how many TikTok remixes have been going around, hilarious as they are, about eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio, it's so devastating that that kind of trope is being put out there about an immigrant population, about Haitians. So to all the Haitians out there, I apologize on behalf of the ignorance of any Americans who have projected the xenophobia onto you. We can do better, people. We can do better. Growing up in Detroit, Michigan in the 70s and 80s and 90s, there was a wave of immigration from Iraq that came to the Detroit area, the Chaldean community. I just remember how some of my friends from school came and didn't speak any English and then learned as they went. There was a bit of assimilation. There was a different culture at home and at school. I mean, our father is an immigrant and our mother was born here. So knowing that cultural overlap and how it works being first generation is a thing. You see two different cultures at home and then you aren't sure which one to bring forth in the world. It's tough, but it doesn't help when someone's putting all kinds of insane mythological hype out there about you. Can we get to the end of that? Well, that leads me to the equinox and the sun moving into Libra, the sign of justice. So may Libra season please bring that balance back. Equinox means equal night, meaning the night and the day are approximately equal. And it does give us a chance to move into this more balanced, harmonizing perspective and see things for what they really are. Libra season is always a fun time of year because it invites us to be more sensual, to enjoy culture and the arts, to socialize. It's great for cuffing season. Libra's the sign of partnership, of marriage, more in the honeymoon phase of things. Whereas Scorpio tends to be more of the, let's make this official, let's make the marriage license, the will, the mortgage, the shared everything, and sign it on a contract. Well, we're not going to be able to escape that because Venus, the planet of love, is going to square Pluto on Sunday in Capricorn and her last hours in Libra. So there's going to be a little intense clash going on there. And then she moves into Scorpio until October 17th. I was born with Venus in Scorpio, and let me tell you, kids, it's kind of intense. Feelings that get driven up by Venus in Scorpio can be so all-consuming, so overwhelming sometimes. Not demure at all. Venus in Scorpio is a time where our passion really gets ignited, but Venus is what's called in detriment in Scorpio. That's the opposite position in the zodiac of Venus's natural home of Taurus. So it's an uncomfortable fit. It's like wearing that bodycon black dress after you just ate an entire pizza. I don't know how else to put it, but it's like, I know I still look good, but I'm suffocating myself. I'm pressuring everyone around me. Help. So what you want to make sure you do during this 3-week phase is to really monitor your intensity so that you don't come on so strong that you wind up scaring people away, or also on the flip side that you don't hold so much in that you wind up exploding. That's the downside of Venus and Scorpios, that can be manipulative and secretive and try to massage situations into working out the way we want to. Oh, how many times did I do that in my 20s, trying to turn a hoe into a husband? Never worked, but never stopped trying until my Saturn returned. So I'm just laying out all my confessions for you guys right now. But I'm just saying, Venus and Scorpio as a transit or as a natal placement, it does make you a really good treasure hunter. One of our retreats in Tulum that we used to do years ago, and sadly aren't doing them anymore because Tulum is not the same as it was back then. Still love it there, but it was very much a different place where hippies frolicked naked on the beach. Now that just doesn't happen. It's like party on the beach and you better wear your $500 caftan. Not quite my vibe anymore. Not that I was a naked hippie on the beach, but there was a middle ground. Anyways, I digress. It was Venus one year, I think it was 2016, 8 of the 20 women at the retreat had Venus in Scorpio, and all of us, like, all we wanted to do was like go to all the jungle and beach shops and find like these amazing handmade treasures and perfumes from Koki. We were like just discovering all the incredible sensual delights that were there. It was kind of overboard for me. I was like, why am I shopping so much? But the point is, and I do have a point, that Venus in Scorpio can also make us overspend a little or get hung up on finding that one thing. But again, a treasure hunt is fun. So maybe keep some parameters on there, keep some guardrails on so you don't blow all your holiday money before Halloween, but enjoy some mystery, enjoy some spirituality, enjoy tapping into your shadow side to make art. That's one of the beautiful things that can open up with the eclipse in Pisces on Tuesday, that it really helps us tap into that inner Chapel Roan. She is a Pisces sun. So I think she kind of exemplifies her type of artistry, exemplifies what that eclipse in Pisces is opening up for us. She lets it all hang out. She bears her soul, but does it in this enchanting, melodious way. She brings in drag. She brings in fantasy. She brings in humor and poetry. And that's the beauty of the 12th sign of Pisces. This week, you can make room for all of it. And I mean all of it, every part of yourself. We contain multitudes upon multitudes, and they're going to show up. with an eclipse, not just this week, but over the next 2 weeks between now and October 2nd, as we're in this eclipse corridor. Life could feel eerie. There could be changes. There could be momentum. Things that you've been stuck on could suddenly start moving, and you might have to make some changes faster than you think or let go of things. It's all for the best. It is. We cling, we fear change, and eclipses do help to expedite that. But grab your support circle and don't suppress the emotions that come up, because we have to move them. We have to move them through us in order to heal and metabolize it all. I've got the cosmic Kleenex box waiting for you, and be back next week on the other side of the equinox. As always, thanks for listening. You can discover more of your star power at astrocell.com, and be sure to follow us on social at AstroTwins. Join us next time for more cosmic fun.